like to welcome everyone to the March 24th, 2022 meeting of the Henrico County School Board. At this time, I would like to make note of Mrs. Ogburn's physical absence from today's meeting. She previously notified myself, the chair, that she's requested to participate electronically from a remote location due to a personal matter. Our school board policy P2-04-006, electronic participation in meetings from remote locations, requires a majority vote of the board members present at the primary or central meeting location to allow a board member to participate in a meeting from a remote location. In accordance with the school board policy, do I hear a motion?
I move that the school board approve Ms. Ogburn's electronic participation in today's meeting for a personal reason.
Thank you, Ms. Kinsella. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Reverend Cooper. Roll call vote. Mrs. Atkins?
Aye.
Mrs. Kinsella?
Aye.
Reverend Cooper?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Mrs. Ogburn's request has been approved. This meeting is being live streamed on the HCPS website. We'll begin our meeting with a roll call. When I call your name, please verbally indicate your presence. Reverend Cooper?
Present.
Ms. Kinsella?
Present.
Mrs. Ogburn?
I'm here.
And Mrs. Atkins?
Present.
Thank you. Please let the record reflect that a quorum of the board is physically present and Mrs. Ogburn is participating electronically. I ask Ms. Ogburn to verbally note if she needs to leave the meeting and subsequently note when she returns. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I move that the school board approve today's agenda.
Moved by Reverend Cooper. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Atkins. Roll call vote. Reverend Cooper.
Aye.
Ms. Ogburn.
Aye.
Ms. Atkins.
Aye.
Ms. Kinsella.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The ayes have it. The agenda is approved.
All right, thank you, Chair Shea, members of the board. Good evening. Good evening to our guests and visitors. To start off our meeting this evening, we will begin, as we always do, with the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be followed by a moment of silence. And so I would now like to welcome our student guests from Pemberton Elementary School, who are joined by their principal, Joe Kuntz, to come forward and lead us all in the pledge. If the audience would please stand.
Board. We have Sarah Ramsor, Isaiah Carroll, Giles, and Will Buckby. We're also joined by our Associate Principal, Justice Hamlin, our SCA sponsor, Taylor Hudson. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity.
Thank you for leading us in the pledge. That's going to be followed by a moment of silence, which can be used by those in attendance for reflection, prayer, meditation. If you would just remain standing for a brief moment of silence. And that concludes our moment of silence. You may be seated. Our next item is our performance highlight. So if you wouldn't mind, the board members, we're going to come down and sit up front so we can have a great view of our performers who are here from Tuckahoe Middle School under the direction of Derek Phipps. So we're going to go ahead and have a seat and then we'll welcome our performers.
All right, good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. Cashwell, colleagues and guests. My name is Christopher Mosley. I am the Education Specialist for Performing Arts. As we celebrate Arts in Our Schools Month, it's my pleasure to introduce for our performance highlight this evening, the Tuckahoe Middle School Theater Department, under the direction of Mr. Derek Phipps. Mr. Phipps is in his 17th year as theater arts teacher at Tuckahoe. The students will perform 2 selections from their recent production of Fiddler on the Roof Jr., Matchmaker, and Far From the Home I Love. Tonight we have in attendance their proud principal, Miss Ann Green. Could you stand so that we could recognize you? All right, and now please help me welcome to the stage Clara Brown, Jocelyn Brown, Abby Miller, and Clay Williams.
Matchmaker, look through your book and make the offer. Matchmaker, I'll ring the bell. You ring the girl, slender and pale. Ring me, I'll ring, for I'm going to be the envy of all my seas. For one will make him a scholar, or one will make him rich as a king. For me, well, I wouldn't holler if he were as handsome as anything. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch. Night after night in the dark I'm alone, so find me a match on my own.
Since when were you interested in match, Papa? Whether you just had your eye on your books. And you have your eye on the rabbi's son.
Why should I want that?
Because you're a girl from a poor family, so whatever he brings, he'll take. Whatever. Whatever. Old, fat, bald, mean, drunk. Stop!
Matchmaker, matchmaker, you know that I'm still very young. Please take your time. To this fitness, I misunderstood that I could get stuck for good. Dear Yenta, see that each Yenta remember you were also a bride. It's not that I'm sentimental, it's just that I'm terrified. Matchmaker, matchmaker, plan me no plans. I'm in no rush. Maybe I've learned playing with matches a girl can get burned. So bring me no ring, bring me no find me no find, catch me no catch, unless he's a match as you'll be late for your customers.
Did that trouble this hero of yours? If he did nothing wrong, he wouldn't be in trouble.
What wrongs did Joseph do? And Abraham and Moses, and they had troubles.
And where is he now, this Joseph of yours?
Far in the settlement in Siberia.
Siberia? He asked you to leave your mother and father and join and marry him there?
Oh, Papa, I want to go.
No, my child.
Why must I travel to the distant land, far from home?
care of her. See that she dresses warm.
Thank you again to our performers, as well as to our students who led us in the pledge. Certainly enjoyed having you with us this evening. The next item on the agenda is our Henrico Highlight. And this is a time when we always shine a light on innovative teaching and learning that's taking place in our schools. This month, we will focus on how history is coming to life for middle school students in a most unlikely place. So let's take a look.
Like so many historically black cemeteries went through a period of decline where it wasn't being taken care of.
There is a number of significant people that are buried there.
We're trying to tell the story of these places that have been neglected.
The Woodland Cemetery Foundation, they've been working in their cemetery for a number of years, and they feel that it is significant enough to have a state marker placed on the property. So they reached out to me to see if students from the community would be interested in helping to create that marker.
So from there, we reached out to the 2 middle schools that were closest and started our work.
There are graves all through those woods. In fact, this section over here.
We rode out with the students and the department leaders to Woodland Cemetery, where we met with both our Henrico County Parks and Rec folks who are helping us with the historic marker piece, but also with this really awesome, dedicated group of volunteers.
It was a lot of fun. We got to see a lot of graves and how they renovated the place.
Very historic black cemetery, and they have a lot of historical people buried there. There's Arthur Ashe and John Jasper, who's a preacher.
He was the founder of Six Mount Zion Church here in Richmond. So here we are at the grave of Arthur Ashe. Died in 1993. He wanted to be buried here because his mother is there. He wanted to be buried beside his mother.
I think it's really interesting because there were people there that I never actually heard about, and it's very interesting to hear what they did and everything.
Charles Russell, he was a prominent architect here in Richmond.
Today, we're really just about getting some drafts of what we think might work as a marker down.
So when we left the cemetery, we went to a place to discuss what we learned.
When we went to the working session, that was the icing on the cake. They knew what they were doing, they were ready, they were just excited to work, and they did.
Buried there, right? Some of them.
Oh, primary sources, right?
Oh, you should, make reference.
Oh, good point. That's a good rule.
The application process will include the basic information. What topic do you want to cover? What is the research? What are the primary resources that you use? And most importantly, what is the text that you want on the marker?
You're limited in the number of words you can use, so you have to think about what matters the most. So we walked through that here as a group. We even looked at other historic markers from other historic cemeteries in the area.
It lists a lot of important people who are buried there.
Good, what else? Yeah.
It was historically placed in 2000.
I think they enjoyed it, and I think they got a really good chance to see how the skills we use in history class actually apply to historical projects in the community. Researching, finding your key information, having the sources to back things up.
What I love most, the fact that they're students and they'll have an opportunity to have something that lives on in perpetuity is just, that's amazing. They'll be able to ride past that with their kids maybe one day and say, hey, I had a hand in that highway marker. And just the history there is so rich. So just giving them an opportunity to learn something that they won't soon forget.
What an amazing project. And we will, of course, update you when the historical marker is placed at Woodlawn. Chair Shea, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you so much. Vice Chair Kinsella, would you please read our HCPS mission statement?
I will, thank you. Henrico County Public Schools, an innovative leader in educational excellence, will actively engage our students in diverse educational, social, and civic learning experiences that inspire and empower them to become contributing citizens.
Thank you, Ms. Kinsella. The next item on our agenda is the public forum. This is a time where citizens are invited to address the school board on any matter of concern about the school division. Citizens have signed up in advance to speak. Speakers will be given 2 minutes to address the school board. We will follow the sign-up list, and the board will not hear from speakers who have not signed up in advance. Those who have signed up to speak may not relinquish their spot to someone else. We ask that each speaker come to the microphone and clearly state your name and the neighborhood or school affiliation and the subject of your remarks. Any use of profanity or inappropriate language will be ruled out of order. After stating your name, please place the number you were given in the cart near the podium. Speakers are allowed 2 minutes to address the school board. To assist you in tracking your time, there's a timekeeping system displayed on the screen. Speakers will also receive a notice when the time has expired. The school board is here today to hear from you, the community. Speakers should speak directly to the board. We will not be responding to speakers, and we appreciate your attendance this afternoon for providing your input. And I believe speaker number 1 has already made her way to the podium, so we'll do a mic check to make sure those listening can hear you.
I think it's working this time.
All right, we got a thumbs up from live streaming, so you're good to go. Thank you so much.
Okay, Elena SV, Deep Run High School. On October 6th, a notification of a survey was sent, buried deep in a school newsletter. Parents had only 2 days to opt out by emailing Hope Parham. Her email address was not provided. No information on how to view the survey questions was provided. There was no time for parents to figure out how to request the survey questions, review, or provide feedback. Most parents never actually saw the survey notification and would not have allowed their children to be exposed to such a survey dealing with sexuality, sexual activity, criminal activity, parents withholding food, all things that are suggestive or easily misinterpreted by children. On January 16th, Dr. Fellows provided notice of the climate survey to be administered on January 24th. The survey still asks questions of a sensitive and protected nature. Parents were given 6 days to opt out by either letter or phone call to the school office, no names. Both my neighbor and myself sent letters to the school office. Neither letter was acknowledged. We eventually emailed Ms. Parham, who had not received our letters but confirmed our opt-outs. My friend's son was still issued the survey while my son was in mask detention. I contacted the Department of Criminal Justice Services and DOE, and they confirmed that they required 30 days notice, that they then contacted the administration, reminded them that they had to wait 30 days. The school did not wait. Last week, an horrific survey was issued at Freeman High School with no parent knowledge and no opt-out. I've spoken to the U.S. DOE PPRA officer. He's confirmed you must honor parent opt-outs, including any time that the parents request, including forever. However, Ms. Parham originally told me this was not possible. After I detailed my conversation, she confirmed she's opted my son out from all future surveys. However, others have been told that the process is for the child to handle their own opt-outs in order to keep ongoing lines of communication open between parents, students, and teachers. So in other words, the school system will continue to try to do illegal things, and parents must play a blindfolded game of whack-a-mole. You need to do better, Henrico. Better on illegal surveys and opt-out practices, better on sexually explicit material, including surveys getting into the hands of our young children. You have got to create sound practices, please.
Thank you. That is all the speakers we had to sign up. I believe we have another group here who had also submitted written comments. So I know we all got your written comment, and we have some staff ready to connect with you that can speak kind of specifically to what y'all are working on with the bus box. And so they will make sure to connect with you as well. So thank you. This concludes public forum. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Is there a motion?
I move that the school board approve the minutes from the February 10th, 2022 work session and the February 24th, 2022 work session and monthly meetings.
Thank you. Moved by Ms. Kinsella. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Reverend Cooper. Roll call vote. Reverend Cooper?
Aye.
Ms. Ogburn? Ms. Ogburn? I can't hear you. But if you agree, if you aye, can you give us a thumbs up? All right. Ms. Atkins?
Aye.
Ms. Kinsella?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The ayes have it. The minutes have been approved.
Sorry, my internet froze for just a second.
All right, can you give us an official aye?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, the ayes have it. The minutes have been approved.
Thank you, Chair Shea, members of the board. For the first item I'm bringing forward, I'm recommending that the school board accept the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Teacher Recruitment and Retention Incentive Program Grant Award of $85,000 from the Virginia Department of Education.
We have heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
I move that the school board accept the donation from Meta as presented. I'm sorry, video, I apologize.
Thank you. Moved by Reverend Cooper. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Atkins. Roll call vote. Reverend Cooper?
Aye.
Ms. Ogburn?
I've lost. Yeah.
Aye. Ms. Atkins?
Aye.
Ms. Kinsella?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The ayes have it. And the grant has been accepted.
Thank you. Next, I'm recommending that the school board accept a donation of $300,000 from Meta, formerly known as Facebook. Meta contracted projects will add 681 megawatts of new renewable energy in Virginia, and their partnership with HCPS will showcase the importance of renewable energy and sustainable practices and will benefit our new program at Varina High School for environmental science and sustainability.
I believe there might be a board member to my left that might want to make a motion.
I move that the school board accept the donation from Meta as presented.
Thank you. Moved by Mrs. Atkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Reverend Cooper. Roll call vote. Reverend Cooper?
Aye.
Ms. Kinsella?
Aye.
Ms. Ogburn?
Oh, no.
All right, we're gonna just keep going because I think we'll have enough of a majority to pass this even with Ms. Ogburn. Ms. Atkins?
Aye.
Aye. And I vote aye. The ayes have it. The donation has been accepted.
Thank you. Next, I'm recommending that the school board approve the selection of CDWG, an authorized vendor under existing Commonwealth of Virginia contract number VA-190822 for the purchase of laptops for middle school students and staff and central office staff, including services and all middle and elementary schools servers infrastructure for $5.420 million per year for 4 years, subject to the award of a final contract at a future date.
Thank you. Board members, is there a motion?
I move that the school board approve the selection of CDW-G, an authorized vendor under existing Commonwealth of Virginia VITA contract number VA-190822 for the purchase of laptops for middle school student and staff, central office staff, including services and all middle and elementary school server infrastructure for approximately $5.420 million per year for 4 years, subject to the award of a final contract at a future date.
Thank you. Ms. Kinsella, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Atkins. Roll call vote. Reverend Cooper?
Aye.
Ms. Ogburn? Ms. Atkins?
Aye.
Ms. Kinsella?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The ayes have it. The selection has been approved.
Thank you. Next, I'm recommending that the school board approve the right-of-way agreement between Virginia Electric and Power Company, also known as Dominion Energy Virginia, and the County School Board of Henrico County, Virginia at Carver Elementary School.
Is there a motion?
I move that the school board approve the right-of-way agreement at Carver Elementary School as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Kinsella. Roll call vote. Reverend Cooper?
Aye.
Ms. Kinsella?
Aye.
Ms. Ogburn? Ms. Atkins?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The ayes have it. The agreement has been approved.
Thank you. The next items are consent items, and so they can be taken in a block. I am requesting approval of the following: the acceptance of the monthly financial statement and budgetary status report for the month ending February 28, 2022, acceptance of the monthly financial statement for school nutrition services for the month ending February 28, 2022, and approval of personnel items.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I move that the school board accept items 12.01 and 12.02 and approve item 12.03 as presented.
Thank you, Ms. Atkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Reverend Cooper. Roll call vote. Reverend Cooper?
Aye.
Ms. Kinsella?
Aye.
Ms. Ogburn? Ms. Atkins?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The ayes have it. The consent items are approved.
All right, thank you, Chair Shea and members of the board. That concludes any items I have for this meeting.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is unfinished business. Colleagues, do you have any unfinished business? Hearing none, the next item on the agenda is new business. Colleagues, do you have any new business? Hearing none, the final item is announcements and meeting dates. Colleagues, do you have any announcements? Then I will announce that the school board's next meeting will be a work session scheduled on Thursday, April 21st, 2022 at 1 p.m. and a monthly meeting at 6:30 p.m. both in the Newbridge Auditorium. The meeting times may be adjusted if needed. This meeting is adjourned.